Tonight's Tipline story has more twists and turns than a Rocky Mountain back road. It all started with two best friends and a used car. And let's just say the friendship is over and that car is long gone.
And I really got to like her and to trust her.
Gloria Valdez feels betrayed by someone she once considered a good friend.
And we developed what I thought was a great friendship. And I really liked her. And
she's talking about Tammy Banks.
This is her picture.
Last November, they worked together at a carpinteria business. One day, Valdez commented that she needed a new car. Banks offered to sell her a 2002 Mercedes, similar to this one, and give Valdez a great deal on it.
Luckily, I made a contract, because I liked her enough that I would have done it on a handshake. But I said, I better write this down. And she signed it. And I remember she gave me a hug, and she goes, "Don't worry, Gloria, I'm not going to screw you."
Valdez gave Banks $2,000 in cash and two Louis Vuitton purses worth about $900 in advance. Now, according to the contract, Banks agreed to hand over the keys on December 16th. But that never happened.
Finally, in March, she told me, I decided to sell this car to someone else.
And even worse, Valdez says Banks kept all of the money and the purses.
Because I saved that money for a long time just for someone to steal it.
She called police, but she says detectives were just too backlogged to take the case.
She didn't give me.
That's when she called the News Channel 3 tip line for help.
Hi, this is CJ Ward, News Channel.
I did some checking and discovered that Tammy Banks has aliases, including Tammy Vines, Tammy Chanel Banks, and Tammy Allen. Turns out she also has a criminal record. Here's a booking photo from Ventura County. She has several convictions for writing bad checks and a felony conviction for identity theft and second-degree burglary.
Oh, my God.
Valdez admits she didn't know any of this about the woman that she trusted so much.
She completely fooled me, almost to a heartache. I've cried about this because I'm not going to cry right now. Because it hurt. It hurt that you trust someone so much.
When I called Tammy Banks to get her side of the story, she claimed the Mercedes was in bad shape and Valdez refused to take the car as is. Banks claimed she backed out of the deal and gave Valdez her $2,000 back.
When I asked for proof of payment, it took several weeks, but Banks eventually did send me copies of what appear to be 4 $500 money orders. Now, they look real, but I decided to call the folks at MoneyGram at their headquarters in Dallas, Texas, to check them out anyway.
The folks at MoneyGram agreed to trace the serial numbers on all 4 of the MoneyGrams Banks showed me, the ones she claims she used to pay back Valdez. And here's what investigators found.
4 money orders that appeared to be 4 $500 money orders. In reality, the money orders had been altered by somebody, and they were really $5 money orders that someone had changed to make it look like they were $500 money orders.
All 4 were purchased at a store in Oxnard, made out to Isaiah Morales, whoever that is. When I asked Banks about the old switcheroo, she said she knew nothing about it. That's when we took a trip to Oxnard to talk with Banks in person. No one answered. And while we were there, a sheriff's deputy showed up and taped an eviction notice to her door. And by the way, court records also show that Tammy Banks knows all about being evicted.
And she got $500 then.
Sadly, Valdez never did get her money back or her purses. And at this point, she just wants to warn others.
It hurt that you trust someone so much, and then they just go and take your money, no conscience, no nothing, and they just say, adios, goodbye.
And we would like to thank the folks at MoneyGram for their assistance. As for Tammy Banks Vines, we tried to talk with her many times for the story. On camera, she simply refused. Several times, Banks agreed to call investigators at MoneyGram to clear up the confusion over those money orders, but she never did call them. And Isaiah Morales, the guy who apparently got those money orders, Isaiah, if you're out there, we would love to hear from you. If you have a problem and need help, call a News Channel 3 tip line. That number is 882-3903.
Boy, just a couple of zeros, huh?
That's it. Big difference. $5, $500.
That's right.
Yeah.
Boy, I don't think you've heard the
Scratch it
end
off.
of Tammy Banks.
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Well.